I have a lot of clients that want to lose weight. I primarily specialize in my coaching company with people that want to lose fat, okay? Now, some of them want to lose a large amount of fat, and so this typically requires a very, very long deficit period. However, there can be a better way to do things as opposed to just staying in a deficit for, even sometimes up to a year. And so diet breaks, when it comes to this, whether you want to lose 15 pounds or 150 pounds, could be a very, very good idea. And in today's video, we're going to explain why. What's good, YouTube? Coach John back again, repping Beyond the Iron, where I'm dropping weekly fitness content to help you get to your goals faster and more enjoyably. So if you're interested in doing that, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you want to check out a free resource after you're done with this video on some of the key habits you should be implementing to help with some of the tactics that I'm going over in this video, then check that out in the link below that says case study. And lastly, I'm going to link all the science that's backing up the things that I say, the most relevant and latest research that backs these claims up at the bottom of the description below in case you want to read more about it. So first and foremost, what is a diet break exactly? Well, some people have different definitions for it, but it's typically, as the name implies, pretty straightforward, a break from dieting or a break from a deficit, okay? Now, the same can be applied if you're trying to gain weight, but we're focusing on a deficit and on fat loss in this particular case, and diet breaks application to this. Now, a diet break is when you essentially go from a deficit back up to roughly maintenance calories, okay? So pulling your body out of that deficit for a certain amount of time. Again, some people have different definitions. Some people would say it's a couple of days. Some people might say it's a couple of weeks, okay? But typically the truth lies somewhere in between there. And of course, both theories and methods are applicable, as we'll go over later on today. But the only way to know or take advantage of this strategy is by, of course, the golden rule, at least for me, to you guys, which is tracking your calories, okay? You have to have awareness as to how many calories you're tracking, what kind of a deficit you've been in, for how long, what rate of weight loss you are at, and also it would help if you're testing and monitoring other things like how you feel, energy levels, performance, workouts in a gym, etc., etc. So why could diet breaks be a good idea? Well, first and foremost, let's see what the research says. So one of the latest studies done with diet breaks actually tested two different groups and had them go into a deficit for an extended period of time. Now, one of the groups actually was in a deficit longer because they were instructed to take a 2-week diet break every 2 weeks as part of their program. And it turns out that this group, though it took them longer to get to the result, it turns out that they actually lost 50% more fat than the group that didn't include diet breaks. On top of this, another amazing bonus that came added with that was they experienced much less metabolic suppression. In other words, they didn't have to cut their calories as low because their metabolism didn't get shot all the way down, as opposed to the other group that stayed in a prolonged deficit, constantly forcing their body to stay under the amount of calories it was burning on a daily basis. So also, diet breaks, amongst being able to help you lose more body fat, isolate body fat by preserving muscle, it's also going to help to resensitize you to both training and also to that deficit. And the reason for that is because, as previously mentioned, your metabolism doesn't need to keep coming down, and so you can bump back up to maintenance for a bit, and then if you enter that same caloric deficit you were in prior to bumping it up, you will likely start losing fat again. And so one of the drawbacks here, as you've probably noted already, is that yes, it will likely take a little bit longer to achieve that goal, but remember, adherence is king. And in this case, diet breaks' biggest benefit arguably is the fact that it increases your chances to adhere to the program. And as the saying goes, better adherence with a less optimal program is always better than a more optimal program that you don't stick to. Crash diets come to mind in this case, okay? They can get you to lose fat very quickly, but how many people actually stick to them, and how many people actually keep the results when they're done? So with that said, this was a very short, to the point video, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because I know that there are a lot of people out there, and again, some of my clients, before they come to me, are some of these people that find themselves in a deficit for such a long period of time, and then all of a sudden this myth that's common spread throughout the industry of I'm eating too little and therefore I'm not losing weight starts propping up. People aren't sure why they're hitting these plateaus, and they can't get by them? Well, a lot of the times, here's what happens. You're in a deficit for so long, your metabolism keeps trying to catch up. Finally, you're at a point where you're eating maybe 800 calories a day, let's just say, right? Something ridiculously low for your body. And so you're at 800 calories, and the only way to keep losing weight is to keep bringing that down. However, your body just doesn't allow it, especially in the context of today's world. You're gonna see something, your cravings are gonna give in, and you're gonna start binging, you're gonna start crashing, you're gonna start eating a little bit too much. And so as you're trying to hit a 700 calories, so you stay in the deficit, you keep overshooting every couple of days, right? Overshoot, and it averages to that 800 or even 900 calories, and your metabolism is staying stuck right there. And so for any of you out there that are experiencing this, in fact, one of the only solutions that I would recommend is implementing a diet break, or even completely reverse dieting back out of that deficit so you can boost metabolism up, get it to a higher point, resensitize, and then re-enter the deficit as you go. Okay, this isn't something that requires as much strategy as, you know, staying in a deficit for so long and then reverse dieting out. This keeps your metabolism up. It helps create a more sustainable, more enjoyable lifestyle. It's going to help you ultimately keep your results in the long term. And by the way, I just posted a video on what to do if you do find that your metabolism is a little slow. So I'm gonna link that video up in the cards here, as well as the video about reverse dieting. In case you find yourself in a position where you really need to reverse diet out of the deficit you've been in. And again, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, check that video out at the top as well. All these videos will help you put together the appropriate strategy that you need to make sure that, one, you're not crashing your metabolism, and two, that you ultimately keep seeing fat loss results because you've got a lot of weight to lose, and that you actually keep them in the long term. So with that said, guys,
whoa, hold up there, buddy. What's up, guys? I'm checking in with you as I'm editing the video that you're watching right now, because I just realized I forgot to tell you how you can actually implement this, and it's very straightforward. I'm going to tell you right now. It can be a weekend, okay? You can simply bring calories back up to your maintenance for about a weekend, okay? You can extend that to a week or even up to 2 weeks, depending on how much you're okay with delaying the process of getting to your goal, how lean you are, etc. So if you're not that lean, there's no need to probably do a diet break at all, or there's no need to do a long diet break. The leaner you are, the more possibility of metabolic suppression, the longer you might want to take that diet break. Also, if you feel like you're not recovering from your workouts, you're always sore, you're starting to experience some, hormonal issues and imbalances and mood, hunger, energy, mood issues and all that, then it might be better to take a week off. And by a week off, I simply mean bring calories back up to maintenance for a week, keep your training around the same, and then ease back into it after that. So that's it, guys. We'll go back to this video.
So much for watching. If you learned something, if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down if you didn't, or if you just want to get roasted, because that's what's going to happen, don't forget to share with your friends, subscribe so you don't miss my videos. I drop every single week. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video next week. I'm out.